Ladies and gentlemen, the following tag team contest is a qualification match for the big tournament coming up at PGW Battlezone. Introducing first, hailing from New York, they weigh in tonight at a combined weight of 342 pounds, Michael Franzese and Sammy the Bull Gravano. Well, the Mafia pair in here, hoping to qualify for that big tournament coming up at PGW Battlezone. The big event coming up 1 week from tonight, where we will crown the first ever PGW Tag Team Champions. 2 of those slots in that 14 tournament have already been filled. We're going to fill the other 2 slots tonight. Franzese and Gravano have proved themselves to be a pretty effective team there, hoping to make it to that tournament, go all the way, but the 2 men making their way to the ring now may take exception to those comments. And now, ladies and gentlemen, their opponents, being accompanied to the ring by Lord Alfred Hayes, they hail from England and weigh in tonight at a combined weight of 421 pounds, Mark Haynes and Pete Donaldson. All the stars of the hit podcast WrestleMe, Mark Haynes and Pete Donaldson, being accompanied to the ring by Lord Alfred Hayes. I believe they were originally thinking of having Hillbilly Jim accompanying them to the ring, but they wanted someone who wasn't sexually naive in the corner. Well, that's Mark and Pete from WrestleMe. To my knowledge, the first time these 2 men have teamed up on the channel. We've watched a lot of wrestling. The question is, will their experience of watching it rub off on them and help them when it comes to actually doing it in real life? There's Pete Donaldson here trying to rally the fans up. It's not working here. Franzese not impressed. Obviously Franzese does not listen to WrestleMe, and a big back body drop by the former captain in the Colombo crime family as now Franzese sends Pete Donaldson into the corner. He gets the tag. Here comes Sammy the Bull as the 2 men pick him up. Thunderous double powerbomb. Pete Donaldson finding out what La Cosa Nostra is all about. As now the leg took the shoulders down, but Sammy the Bull Gravano not able to get the 3 count on that occasion. And old Sammy not happy with the referee here, but he needs to focus on his opponent. Sammy the Bull now with these heavy right hands, a boxing background this man has, and he's putting it to full use here against his opponent. Look at Sammy the Bull go now as he sends Pete Donaldson into the corner, comes running in, tries a clothesline. Donaldson getting the elbow up here, and those glasses obviously very tough. They've not been broken yet despite all the shots he's taken, and that was a nice move. Shades of Dwayne The Rock Johnson floating over with a DDT, now sends Sammy the Bull into the corner and gets the tag to the big man. Here comes Mark Haynes and a big kick to the ribs of Sammy the Bull Gravano. And look at this by Haynes, he's clearly been training for this occasion. Nice chokehold here. Oh, but look at this. Franzese coming in and breaking that submission maneuver up. Mark Haynes not deterred by this though, keeps fighting. And look at that though, nice reversal. Nice reversal by Gravano, a man that's over 20 killings to his name. He's trying to make it an extra one here, trying to choke the life out of Mark Haynes now. Sammy the Bull goes to the top rope and a big spear off the top by the Bull. Well, that could be all she wrote there. Lateral press, shoulders down. They could be going to that big tag team tournament, but no, they're not. Mark Haynes a little bit more fight left in him yet. And once again, Sammy the Bull Gravano not happy with the referee. He needs to focus on, keep his eyes on the prize here. Don't turn your back on your opponent. Could be the biggest mistake you make in that ring. There's a nice reversal there by Mark Haynes and a nice drop kick. Now he sends Sammy the Bull into the corner. Nice tag to his partner. Nice double team moves here from the lads from WrestleMe. And a nice hip toss. Pete Donaldson trying to do a bit of chain wrestling. Sammy the Bull ringing the arm, flips out of it, takes the legs right from under him. And now Pete Donaldson looking to take a risk, going to the top rope, looking to hit one big move to punch this match for bed, but finds nothing but the canvas. Sammy the Bull getting out of the way and now gets the tag to Michael Franzese. Finally getting the tag to Franzese. And Franzese with his big right hands to the top of the head of Pete Donaldson. Lord Alfred Hayes can barely contain his rage. Stood at ringside. And now look at this, gets the tag, and this is the move we were talking about, La Cosa Nostra. One of the most deadly and devastating tag team maneuvers in the history of this sport. And unsurprisingly, Sam the Bull and Franzese victorious. They will go on to that big tournament a week from tonight.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here are your winners, the team of Michael Franzese and Sammy the Bull Gravano.
And as we said, these two men have qualified. A week from tonight, they will compete in that tag team tournament. One slot left to fill, but we turn our attention, ladies and gentlemen, next to the short match challenge. Chris Van Vliet, the man of 1,000 names, has 3 wins. Remember, if he gets 5, he'll get a title shot. He's going for his 4th win here tonight, and he's going to be taking on another podcast host. The question is, can Van Vliet keep this phenomenal run going? We are about to find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a short match challenge scheduled for one fall with a 2-minute time limit. Introducing first, hailing from Pickering, Canada, he weighs in tonight at 190 pounds, Chris Van Vliet.
Chris Van Vliet.
A man of 1,000 names, 3 wins thus far for Chris Van Vliet in the short match challenge. A man that likes to change his name throughout the duration of a match. As always, we're going to try and keep you updated on all those name changes. Hoping for another win here tonight to make it 4 wins, 5, get him a title shot. Just 2 wins away, but he's going to have to face another dangerous podcast host here tonight. And one that is very, very heavy.
Chris
Or some kind of metaphor, he's literally very heavy.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent. Hailing from Huntsville, Alabama, he weighs in tonight at 342 pounds, Conrad Thompson.
Well, Conrad Thompson looks to be in a foul mood ahead of this match, and he's got every reason to be. Short match challenge, as you know, only has a 2-minute time limit, very short match, and that means we've not got time to cut away for one of his mortgage adverts, and Conrad Thompson very upset about that. You know, he cuts away from family dinners to plug his mortgage broker company, not giving him the opportunity to do that. It's like telling a crackhead that they can't have the fix. Nonetheless, Conrad Thompson, host of many, many podcasts, not quite as successful as Chris Van Vliet has been, and that's been a bone of contention between these two men. The question is, will that score be settled here tonight? I believe Conrad Thompson's the favourite, over £150 weight advantage. Nonetheless, we're about to find out. The bell rings. Remember, 2-minute time limit in this match, the short match challenge. No exit in the ring, and no pacing yourself in these matches. You've just got to throw everything you've got at your opponent and hope it'll be enough. And Conrad Thompson winning out in that lock-up exchange, unsurprisingly, with a power advantage. But Van Vliet with a spinning heel kick, retaliating here.
Chris Van Vliet.
Talking to the fans, saying his name is Chris Van Vliet, but I've just got word in my earpiece as he tries to lift Conrad Thompson up but fails. I'm just getting word in my earpiece. Chris Van Vliet's changed his name. He's now changed it to Chris Bedsheet. Not quite sure of the significance of that name change, but nonetheless, Bedsheet is struggling here as Conrad sends him for the ride off the ropes and slams him, abdomen first right into the canvas. This one may be over. Leg is hooked, shoulders down, and Bedsheet just about managing to get his shoulder off the canvas just in the nick of time. I'm calling him Bedsheet. I'm just getting word in my earpiece. He's changed his name again. He'll now be known as Chris Funky Beat. Not the first time he's changed his name to that. Maybe he really loves a funky beat. But I tell you what he doesn't love. Conrad Thompson, the big man, picking him up and dropping him. Face first, funky beat. Really struggling in this short match challenge. Normally very good in this match. As look at the big man going to the top rope, dropping a big knee. Chris Van Vliet could be dead, and I'm calling him Van Vliet. His name is actually Funky Beat, but he's just changed his name again. He's changed it to Kiss My Seat. I was very worried when I saw the first 2 words in that new name, but Kiss My Seat now. Trying to launch a comeback against the big man. Very little time left to do it as he comes for the ride off the ropes. Tries a crossbody. Didn't get all of it. And Conrad with that big knife edge chop now going after him. Nice block by My Seat. And look at this, catches the fuck nice Inzaguri. And I'm just getting word in my earpiece again. He's changed his name from Kiss My Seat. He's gone back to the original name of Chris Van Vliet. And a big crossbody off the top. He's won a few matches with that move. And this one will be no exception. Unbelievable win. 4 wins in the short match challenge. 1 more gets him a title shot. Great moment for that man.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, Chris Van Vliet.
Phenomenal win for Chris Van Vliet. What can you say about that man? But up next, ladies and gentlemen, the first ever singles match. DJ Khaled's got a new client. He's got a new tag team partner. We're going to see that man in action up next. I'm talking about the original rap master of WCW, Mr. PN News.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, weighing in tonight at 215 pounds, Mark Baker.
Mark Baker, known as the Cake to many. Set to do battle here tonight with the original rap master of WCW.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, being accompanied to the ring by his manager, DJ Khaled. He hails from Omaha, Nebraska, and weighs in tonight at 403 pounds, PN News.
Well, DJ Khaled was teamed up with the real Double J, Jesse James, and those two men had a big falling out, but the match took place between DJ Khaled and Jesse James, and after the match, PN News coming out, taking out Jesse James, forming an alliance between the two. While you hear DJ Khaled shouting his name at the start of PN News' rap, that pretty much means you're in bed with DJ Khaled. He shouts his name at the start of things that you're involved with. It means that he's officially your manager, and these two men are going to be in that big tournament coming up a week from tonight. Look at PN News. Not popular with the fans here. Nonetheless, Mark Baker can't let these mind games sway him. Mark Baker, the Cake, always focused. Got to worry though if he's called the Cake. PN News may try and eat him in this match. And look at PN News with a big overhand right, the big 400 plus pounder. Taking Mark Baker down to the canvas. As PN News now, that enormous head, smashing him. Smashing him with that enormous head. Mark Baker really struggling thus far against big PN News. But look at this. Nice drop kick by Baker. PN News not got his eyes on the prize. And look at that nice shoulder block. The big 400 pounder going down. Well, what an upset this would be if Mark Baker could pull off the upset. And look at this. Quick roll up. Shoulders down. And very close there. PN News didn't have his eyes on the task at hand. He needs to see that as a wake-up call. It may sharpen him up a little bit. And a big splash in the corner by this enormous man sends him into the opposite corner, and another body splash by Mr. PN News. And now knocking Baker to the outside. Well, PN News, when he's 100% focused, looks very dangerous, but clearly his concentration's not up to scratch. And now look at Baker trying to pick this big man up to no avail. Can't get him off the canvas. And now PN News retaliating with a big overhand right. And now look at this from the big man, a big cannonball splash. Incredible athleticism from an athlete of this size. Now that's not athleticism, no, choking a man on the canvas, but it will hurt him in a lot of ways. As now PN News sends it for the ride. Nice hip toss by the big man as DJ Khaled looks very happy on the apron. Very happy at the performance of this man thus far, as now he picks him up. What's he going to do? He drops his opponent face first. Baker not doing well here against the big man. As now PN News picks him up. Nice shin breaker. You know why they called it that? Can break a man's shin, as now the big man goes to the top rope. And my God, look at this. A big time splash right from the top turnbuckle. What a phenomenal move. And now the referee making the count, and unsurprisingly, the Cake has been squished. PN News, your winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, PN News.
Well, PN News victorious. Of course, him and DJ Khaled will be in that big tag team tournament a week from tonight. One slot left in that 14 tournament. We're going to find out who the fourth team's going to be in this next match. It's going to be a very controversial team on the channel. Jesus Christ. And Pulp JP taking on the team of Mario and Luigi, and that is coming up right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, weighing in tonight at a combined weight of 415 pounds, the team of Jesus Christ and Pope John Paul.
Well, two controversial figures on the channel. Of course, last Wednesday night, Jesus Christ was one-on-one with Stan Smith in an old disqualification match. It looked like Stan Smith was going to get his hand raised in victory. But just as Stan Smith was about to go for the cover, Hulk JP coming out with a steel chair, putting an end to all of that and helping Jesus get the win. Certainly not popular with the fans, these two men, but they've got a great opportunity to qualify for that tournament. The only problem is they've got to defeat these two men to get there.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, their opponents, hailing from Italy and weighing in tonight at a combined weight of 387 pounds, the team of Mario and Luigi.
The Super Mario Brothers with a great opportunity here tonight. They've got to pull off a victory of biblical proportions. But who can doubt these two men? Very popular with the fans. Question is, can this capacity crowd inspire them and help them to create a great performance here tonight, help them to fight with great courage and determination? If they can do that, they may just qualify for that tournament a week from tonight. Mario looks full of confidence here. Jesus Christ doesn't quite know what to make of the Italian plumber. And trying to charge in does Jesus, but nice reversal by Mario on a power slam. Mario may have had a mushroom before he started this, or maybe a star. Whatever he's had, it seems to be working. And now the right hands to the face of the Son of God, of Lord Jesus of Christ. We're going for the cover there, but it's going to have to do a lot more to put Jesus away. I've already said before, it's not the first time somebody's tried to put him away, but knocking him to the outside of the ring. The man that invented Easter eggs, not faring well here against the Super Mario brother. And now look at this, though, pulling him front first against that rope. Jesus with a very clever move there and a nice sidewalk slam. It was a very good start from Mario, but may have just took his eye off the ball for a second, allowing them the opportunity. And now here comes former Pope John Paul II. John Paul certainly not popular either with the fans, but it's not a popularity contest. Getting the win is all that matters, and this is a good way to go about it. A big superplex off the top. Any Catholics watching this would be very proud of Pope John Paul for pulling out such a great move, and that could be enough to put this match away. Going for the pin, but Luigi coming in, saving his brother. Look at the Pope trying to fight both Mario and Luigi, and doing a pretty good job of it thus far. Now he sends him into the corner, tries charging in with a clothesline. Nice reversal by Mario. And Mario trying to launch a comeback here. He needs to get the tag to his brother, in my opinion. He doesn't want to keep fighting. Got to use the numbers to your advantage. There's two men on the team. And look at this, Mario hulking up again. Big right hand to the face of Pope John Paul. As Mario now sends him for the ride. Nice clothesline, but Mario really needs to get the tag to his brother. For some reason, he wants to fight everybody, and you can't do that in a tag team match. And a nice drop kick there. Nice drop kick by John Paul. Now sends Mario into the corner. That opportunity to get the tag to his brother may have just gone forever now. And look at this nice double team move. Double hip toss by these two men. Mario looks to be in a bad way. Finds himself at the mercy of Jesus Christ. I'm sure there's a line there, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. Look at that though, mistake by Jesus. Trying an elbow drop, getting his trajectory completely wrong there. And maybe a chance now for Mario if he can knock Jesus down to get the tag to Luigi. Well, he's going to try it. Look at this, picks him up. Nice shoulder breaker. And Luigi on the apron pleading for the tag. Can Mario get there? For some reason, picking Jesus up off the canvas. Mario needs to get his brother in the ring. And look at that, low blow. A low blow. That could be enough to put it away, but look at Jesus just powering out of that pin. As now Mario What's he going to do here? Tries the Irish whip. Jesus putting the brakes on and knocking Mario down to the canvas once again. An opportunity squandered for Mario to get the tag to his brother. He's found himself completely isolated, a 2-on-1 situation, but it's seemingly by choice every time he's had the opportunity. Mario trying to fight both men at once. You can't do that. Certainly not good tag team wrestling being displayed here. As now Jesus with the Irish whip sending Mario into the corner. Gets the tag to poke JP. And these two men really doing a number on him now. Nice Russian leg sweep there by the Pope. And now Pope JP goes to the top rope. Big elbow drop off the top. And now that could be enough to put this match away. The lateral press the shoulders down, and yes, a one-way performance, a dominant performance. Jesus and the former Pope victorious.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are your winners, the team of Jesus Christ and Pope John Paul.
Well, we know these two men will fill that final slot in that Big 14 tournament to crown the first ever PGW Tag Team Champions at Battlezone. Before we go off the air tonight, though, the big main event, the moment you've all been waiting for, coming up next. Well, the man himself, Rick Astley, will be going one-on-one with Stephen Richards. What a match this is going to be.
I'll show you. You'll see.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first, hailing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, he weighs in tonight at 230 pounds, Stephen Richards.
Stephen Richards, a man that's had a very, very long career in this sport, many, many decades of experience. Former WWF Hardcore Champion, former ECW Tag Team Champion. But the man he faces tonight is going to put all of that experience to the test. The man about to make his way to the ring, undefeated on the channel thus far. He's been on a roll. The question is, can he keep it going?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, being accompanied to the ring by Lemmy. He hails from Lancashire, England, and weighs in tonight at 182 pounds, Rick Astley.
Well, Rick Astley and Lemmy, a deadly combination inside and outside of the musical studio. Undefeated tag team, and of course Rick Astley in singles competition, undefeated also. That big tournament coming up at PGW Battlezone to crown the first ever tag team champions on the channel. You've got to believe the combination of Lemmy and Rick Astley have to be the odds-on favourite to go all the way in that tournament and to walk away the first ever tag team champions. But we're only a week away from that event. Astley needs to be on his guard. Stephen Richards, a very capable opponent. Can't let his head race away. He can't think about Battlezone at the moment. He can only think about the man that's standing right in front of him in the ring. And that man is Stephen Richards, as the two men locking up again and seemingly a dead heat. Astley trying to throw a quick shot in. Nice right hand by Astley. Look at this, Astley. Several right hands. Richards goes tumbling down to the canvas, showing us the greatest dance move in the history of this planet. And Richards thought he wasn't paying attention, trying to drop kick. Astley is always watching. Astley is always on guard as he sends Richards down for the ride off the ropes. Big kick to the jaw there. Stephen Richards may have to visit the dentist. After this match, tries a clothesline, and look at Astley dodging everything he's throwing at him. And a nice drop toe hold. Look at Lemmy stood at ringside, applauding his tag team partner, who is doing a phenomenal job at the moment. Oh, well, maybe not though. There was certainly a lapse in concentration there. Richards trying the Irish whip. Look at Astley trying to backslide, trying to put the match away, but too close to the ropes on that occasion. As now he tries charging in. Richards getting out of the way, sent off the ropes with his momentum, tries a dropkick, falls short but gets it this time. It was going so well in the early going for Astley, but it doesn't look as good now, and a big diving shoulder block by Stephen Richards. You can tell Richards feels slighted, feels disrespected at the antics of Rick Astley. He may have just lit a fire under this man's belly. The last thing you want to do when a man's got as many years in the ring, as many years of experience as Stephen Richards has, who's trying to fight away now, but nice block by Astley, right hand, trying to fight back, and Richards Gets knocked out on the canvas. Now goes to the top rope, but gets his ghoulies, his nether regions, his Uncle Joe's mint balls impaled on that top turnbuckle. And Stephen Richards really turning this match around. I think Rick Astley's finding the difference between having a good run and having several decades of fine experience in the ring. Now the lateral press, the referee making the count at a very near fall there. Richards was very close to ending the undefeated streak of Rick Astley. If he can keep this up, he may just do that. And now look at this, throwing the man to the outside, strong Irish whip. And what the hell's Lemmy doing? Lemmy throwing a chair into the ring. As Stephen Richards mocking the greatest musician of all time, Rick Astley. But I don't think he realises he's got back in the ring. Richards overconfident. Astley coming back in, trying a sunset flip, but again too close to the ropes. Referee can't make the count. Stephen Richards was trying to calm him down with those strikes. Astley fighting back. Now tries a backslide once again. His awareness of where he is in the ring isn't brilliant. And that comes with experience. Nice drop kick by Richards. Astley struggling a bit here now. Tries the Irish whip, does Richards. Astley puts the brakes on. And Rick Astley tries to maintain some control in this match as he sends his opponent for the ride off the ropes. Picks him up. Beautiful Samoan drop. As now Astley... Fun time is over, goes to the top rope. Look at this move, beautiful. Hurricane Rana off the top. And just like that, Rick Astley looks like he's back in control in this match. Moonwalking, the move that he invented. People say that Michael Jackson made it popular. We all know it was Rick Astley. And now look at this. Nails the Rick Roll, his finishing manoeuvre. Well, this one's over. But it should have been over. Rick Astley picking Richards back up for some reason. He's going to nail another Rick Roll, and this time on the steel chair. Referee obviously doesn't know how it got there, or he may have got disqualified, and now making the cover. And Rick Astley still undefeated. What a moment for that man, the greatest musician in the history of this sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, Rick Astley.
Well, this man never ceases to amaze me. The question is, can he do the same 1 week from tonight? Remember, Friday night, 9 PM Eastern Time. PGW will present Battlezone, the biggest event of the year, perhaps of all time. We will see the 14 tournaments to try and crown the first ever PGW Tag Team Champions. And we've got the official draw here. The first semi-final match will be the two men you've just seen, Rick Astley and Lemmy, taking on Jesus and Pope John Paul. The second semi-final will see DJ Khaled and PN News taking on Michael Franzese and Sammy Gravano. Of course, on that night as well, you'll see the man of 1,000 names, Chris Van Vliet, going for win number 5 in the short match challenge. If he gets a win, he will earn a title shot at the PGW World title. And speaking of the PGW World title, in our main event, Moist Critical will be putting that belt on the line, will be defending the PGW World Championship against an opponent yet to be announced. We will have a number 1 contenders match on the channel at some point in the next few days. There may be more things announced for that event. It's going to be the biggest event of the year. Tune in for PGW Battlezone, Friday, 9 PM Eastern Time, May 1st. It's going to be a big one.